These are incredibly ever-blooming fragrant gardenias. And what's really special about this, first of all, normally this would be $32 for our National Garden Day and our garden event. Special price only for today, it's $17.98. So that's gonna go away at the end of the day today. We do have as well as free shipping and handling on this as well. But what a beautiful, like southern, feminine, charming.
So you said your mom
gorgeous.
is from New Orleans?
From New Orleans. I was actually born in Louisiana.
Oh, you were? So my mom's from South Carolina. So we've both got southern roots, y'all. But did they say y'all in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you betcha. That's Minnesotan.
No, that's not the South.
Yeah.
But here, I'll give this to you.
Oh,
but this is such a southern plant. I know my grandmother.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it amazing? The scent is why we grow these.
So beautiful.
And my grandmother in her home in South Carolina had 2 of these flanking her door. Now, she could grow them outside in the ground because she could in South Carolina. And as you walked in, so you know the gardenia is a sign of hospitality. So as you walk in the home, not only are you greeted with that warmth and that sign of hospitality, but that fragrance. And that's what I remember so much about going to my grandmother's house is the smell of gardenias.
These smell amazing.
Don't they smell amazing?
You know what's interesting? Is it like a warm vanilla undertone?
Exactly.
It's like floral, but there's a little warm vanilla.
It's a vanilla, and that's exactly what it is. And that's why we grow gardenias. We grow them for their scent. And that's why we've chosen this gardenia, because it's going to be covered in flowers. This has more. That's why we call it the ever-blooming, because it's going to be covered in flowers. A lot of your gardenias traditionally will start to bloom late spring, early summer, and then they won't bloom all summer. This one will bloom for you all summer long. And there'll be so many blooms on this that I like to say you can take some and put them behind your ear like Billie Holiday would do and wear them behind your ear for, you know, a party. Yeah, I really love it.
Thank you.
If it will stick. There we go. And wear them behind your ear, and then you bring that perfumey scent with you wherever you go. And I mean, I just love this as a little shrub.
Yeah. If we're putting this, let's say we're getting 2, we're putting them in containers like right by our entrance, should we make sure they're getting shade, sun?
So these do like some part shade. I know mine keeps falling out. So they like some part shade, but it will get to be about 2 to 3 feet tall. So if you are putting them in containers, for a lot of us in the country, if it gets below 20 where you live.
Okay.
So I know sometimes people don't know about zones, but if it gets below 20 where you live, you're going to have to bring it into, up close to the house if you have it in a container. Don't plant it in the ground. But you can see here those beautiful flowers. They almost like velvet. And so if you have it in, so if you have it in a container, there's really no care that you need to do. It's going to stay about that 2 to 3 feet tall and wide and give you that scent. I would love it by your front door. You said earlier that's where you'd want to put it. So it can take some part shade.
Okay.
So if you have, shade, a little eave over your door, it can take some part shade. And as guests come, they'll be greeted with that hospitality and that fragrance.
This is so beautiful. And I think something really special, this would also make an exceptional gift too. You could even get it like started for someone, right? Maybe you get the container, you get it growing a little bit for the season, and then you gift it off to them. And I think this would just be dynamite. You know what we did actually, when we got married, we bought like potted plants, right? That we used, and I wish I could remember what we bought, but I don't, Katie, I'm gonna be honest.
That's okay. We use potted plants. We use potted plants at our wedding too.
We put them up on pillars, and that was like what framed where we got married, and then the mother-in-law, they got to take them home, right? Yeah. And I'm sure my mom kept hers alive. I did not. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, you should ask her what it is, and then you can get one.
Maybe
now
it was
that you
a
have your
begonia.
new
Does that
house.
sound right?
It could be.
I think they were begonias.
And now that you have your new house, you have your hydrangeas, and you're creating your little wedding garden. And that's what gardening's all about, is creating memories. And you create memories with your kids or with your grandkids. They'll come to your house, especially when you smell something so strong like this. They say that evokes a memory, and that when you smell strongly scented plants. So you're creating these memories of, like with my grandmother, and at your wedding. You'll always remember that time.
Well, what I was getting at, you could have these, you could display them at a wedding or a shower or a party, and then you could gift them with someone, or you get to keep them. What's funny, it was even, my florist even suggested me to do that. I was like, wait a second, I'm ready to pay you to make these big arrangements. And she goes, just go buy a beautiful potted plant that you can keep later. And I was like, really? Okay. And that was
really
what the
nice.
florist suggested, right? So think about doing that too for special events too, where you want to have flowers, you want to do something special. Why not have something too that you can keep that's ever blooming, that's a fragrant gardenia. This is so beautiful.
And if you do live in one of those areas of the country where it gets below 20 degrees, you bring it in the house, and this makes a really beautiful houseplant. The foliage is bright and shiny and green, and so it may not bloom for you in the winter, or it may. Depends on, it likes a sunny window. But what I just love about these flowers is not just their scent, but their velvety texture. I mean, look at that flower.
Yeah, the petals are rich.
Yeah, they're rich, they're soft, they're really strong, and I love them. And I also have the ship sample here because I wanted to show you there are so many buds on this plant. I mean, it's just covered in buds. It also has a little flower, which yours may or may not, but it will have buds for sure because it is ready to bloom. That's why we call it the Everblooming. It is just ready to go.
When this comes shipped, we take it out of the plastic container. Do you have any suggestions too, like when we have the root ball, is that what it's technically called? Like how then I properly put it? Like, do I need to kind of
So this
open it up a little bit?
one's been really well watered. So I don't want to pull it out of here because I can tell that's been really well watered. But with one of our other ones, I will. So what you typically want to do when you grow one of our Cottage Farms plants is you'll take it out and you'll see that it's got a lot of strong, healthy roots. And what you can do is, I like to say, tease the roots. But honestly, don't worry about pulling them because you don't want them to grow in a circular form because they have been growing in their pots for some time. And so you don't want to make sure, they want to grow out. And so you just want to make sure you're pulling them apart so they know to grow out, grow big and strong, and not continue to grow in that circular fashion. So that's all you do. When you take it out of the plastic, just kind of tease those roots a little bit at the bottom and on the sides.
Like you go, na 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 na. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
And then repot it. And then maybe give it some more positive reinforcement after that.
I love you. Play music. Do I need to play? What kind of music is my gardenia like? No, you don't have to worry about any of that. But you get amazing blooms. And listen, it's in the name. The Everblooming. It's beautiful. It's fragrant. And so you're really going to get a lot of bang for your buck when you're looking for beautiful blooms. How long would you say? From summer to fall? Like how long?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And one of the cool things that I know that people do for low centerpieces, especially we talk about weddings, I've seen this at weddings, is you just take a couple of the blooms off because again, there are going to be so many here, and float them in a bowl of water.
Oh, I love that.
So even if you're having a dinner party or something to do this, how fun would that be?
So over 500 have already been spoken for. That's pretty. Honestly, I would do that. I'd set it next to the bath. I'd light a candle. I'd have a moment. Right, especially with that fragrance, it's so pretty. $17.98 for the Everblooming Fragrant Gardenia. This is free shipping and handling, and I will say too, this is a special sale price because we are celebrating National Garden Month here at QVC. Cottage Farms, they've been doing this and in the business since 1947. So when it comes to a name that you can trust, you can rely on, that's often called the grower's grower.
That's right.
Right, because those that are really is it horticulturalists?
No L, horticulturist.
A horticulturist.
Right.
Thank you. They go to Cottage Farms, right? That's what I was getting at.
Yes, you're right.
But now you know.
It's a common mispronunciation.
Thanks, Kate. She's like, thanks for giving me a break here on this one. But here's what I love though, is whether you're a novice like me, or maybe you're an expert, like I think of my mom and my sister who love kind of growing unique and exotic plants and really enjoy it. Wherever you fall on this spectrum, Cottage Farms has something beautiful for you that you're gonna enjoy, that you're gonna love adding to your home and to your garden. This is $17.98. Wow. And this is something too, would you say, here's a question, if I'm new to gardening or an expert, who would this be perfect for?
Well, so the thing about this plant is because I think that because it does require you to bring it in, the thing, if you've grown gardenias before, you've never grown anything like this.
Okay.
Because it's going to bloom and bloom and bloom. So for an avid gardener who may think, I've done gardenias, not this one.
Not this one.
And for a beginner, who doesn't want fragrance?
Yeah.
Sometimes we want color in our garden, but I like to do a whole mix of a lot of different things. And one year, my mom planted her entire garden white. The whole thing was white garden. She took out lots of plants and just changed it up the whole thing. And so it's very interesting. That's the fun thing about gardening is you can play. Whether you're a beginner gardener or an avid gardener, think about it like you're decorating your home. You get some throw pillows this year. You change out your throw pillows. You get a new blanket over the edge of your couch. Maybe you splurge and get a new lamp like that phantom hydrangea.
Yeah.
So you get some big pieces, and then each year you mix it up. But don't be afraid to try and play.
It's like the storybook where the queen makes them go out and paint the white roses red.
Right, Alice in Wonderland, I think. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so this is your Everblooming Gardenia. You're not going to find a gardenia like this at your local garden store because yes, it is Cottage Farms. Over 700 already spoken for, but you've got to order today if you want to keep that sale price. We're already starting to get limited though on the remaining orders. So free shipping and handling as well. M61287 is going to be your item number on our Everblooming Fragrant Gardenia. That's beautiful.